Hey there, if you're here from my previous video about how I became a hairdresser and how I got into Reiki, this video is for you. If not, you can go watch the first video and come back to this video, or just watch this video and then you can watch the first video afterwards. Anyway, to make a long story short, I finished my beauty school, got into the work field, and it was shortly after I got licensed. I was sitting with a group of friends, and I always had this like gift of healing, but like for some reason my hands would get hot and cold, and I'm like, okay, like someone in here right now is feeling pain, and I'm like, and it's bad. And so my friend goes, yeah, I'm the one who's feeling some pain. And I'm like, all right. So she goes, well, come over and try to find out. And she goes, how do you know? And I was like, because my hands. So I went up and down with my hands. I scanned her whole body, and then I got to her legs, and I felt one leg more than the other. And it goes, it's somewhere in your legs. And she goes, yeah. And she goes, see if you can find it. So I scanned it, and then I pressed, and she screamed, and she goes, that's fucking crazy. She goes, how do you know that? How do you know that? And she like freaked out. And I'm like, I don't know. I felt it. So then I go and research, and I was like looking up holistic ways of healing, and I found reflexology, and I figured, oh, maybe I could do reflexology because it's just a massage of hands, feet, and the ears and the head. So I found this class through a massage school, and it was 3 consecutive Saturdays, and I couldn't take off at the time at the salon. It wasn't really allowed. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't like have my dream shut down either. So I ended up getting in contact with the massage therapist teacher, and who was also a reverend, who also was able to teach at home. And she said to me, I can teach you at my house. It's only 2 classes, and I don't know how long. So I'm like, all right, scheduled with her. I went to go learn about the reflexology. They asked me questions, and she goes, I think there's something more about you. She goes, I know you could do the reflexology, but I think you're leaning more towards Reiki. And I was like, what is Reiki? And she's like, well, it's energy healing, without touching and stuff. And I'm like, oh, really? So she goes, yeah. So they did a little quick Reiki thing on me. I'm like, yeah, that feels like, it feels right. And at the time, my ankle was hurting, and she goes, yeah, that's because there's something attached to you, and you need to like release it. So I'm like, all right. So they helped me release it. And her and her partner did a Reiki level 1 attunement on me, and they said it was so intense and powerful that I can go right into Reiki 2, which most people who go right into Reiki 2 have to wait a week, 2 weeks, sometimes longer. And she goes, no, you're already ready for level 2. I'm like, okay. So they went and did level 2 on me, and they taught me the sigals and how to do it and everything like that. And then I had to do the session on both of them, and I found out their issues, and they were like, that's crazy, like you just learned this and you're already like on it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, it's just something I was born with. And so then I looked up the reflexology, and then the state was weird, and it said you need 300 hours, and I'm like, how am I supposed to do this in 2 classes? So I didn't feel right about it, so I didn't go in for the reflexology. But I did do the Reiki, and then I tried to work in Reiki, and it was difficult because at the time in my area it wasn't big. Even though celebrities were doing it, it wasn't big in my area. And now it's popping up everywhere with salt houses and things like that. So that's cool. And then from there I learned how to hold things and let your body sway. If it goes forward, it's yes. If it goes backwards, no, don't use it. And I got into crystals, and I got into aromatherapy, I got into numbers, I got into angel signs, I got into animal symbols, and it just kept progressing and progressing and progressing and progressing and progressing and progressing. And all of a sudden I have a whole bunch of information downloaded into me that, like, it's amazing of when people sit with me and I do a reading, how like they say that I'm different than most readers because I touch on everything. And that I was special and unique. And ever since then, I've been trying to get out there. I've been trying to help people and get into it. And online, I can't seem to draw the people in, but in person, I can draw people in and help them. And maybe I'm supposed to do it at a local level now and then eventually expand. But like I'm telling you, like, I just opened up my own business back in March, and that one is crazy. The signs to open up the business was crazy. I found a cross on the floor one day, and then the next day I saw a shadow saying 888, and then I opened my business. And then when I went to a store, my favorite Bible quote was "Love is patient, love is kind," and I found a bookmark. And when I turned it around and I looked at the bottom, my mouth dropped because it was the name of my business but spelled differently. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And I saved it with me because it's like proof. And I did 1, 2, 3 expos already, and I've helped over 50 people, and it's working out well for me currently at a local level, but not online level. And I'm hoping to push and expand and help people from all over the world. But yeah, that's my story of nursing to hairstyling to Reiki to full-on medium, clairvoyant, shaman, oracle reader, spell writer, well, ritual writer. Like I can do anything, and I have an abundance of information and education and knowledge. So thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe, because I want to make more videos about me and how I can help people. Thank you.